In honor of this being the week of Halloween, I thought we'd do something, I don't know, a little creepy. Well, it's not really creepy. I just wanted to do like Halloween themed podcast episodes for the whole week. So we're going to start on day one with the story of the haunted backlog, when old stories just won't die. So the truth is, backlog ghosts don't spook teams. They quietly suck away their momentum. So today's the day where we are going to perform the first agile exorcism. And we're going to get rid of one this sprint. So here's the deal. Once upon a time, there was a team. The team had an epic that was more than 3 months old. And it resurfaces just about every sprint to haunt them. Some little piece of it just keeps coming back and keeps dialing in. And it's just that item where, oh, if we only had this one more thing, or oh, now that I see that, let's change this, or let's update this piece, or can we make this adjustment? And it just keeps living on and on. And it doesn't matter how much you tweak this story. This story is not going to come. It's never going to be something that everybody's going to say, I love it. It's absolutely what I was looking for. Sometimes it's just an epic that's been worked so much that everyone thinks that if I can't get the item that I want individually, I'm going to find a way to squeeze it under that epic. I've seen that happen before, right? Or it's something that just has really unclear acceptance criteria, and nobody's brave enough to use the help me understand model to try to figure it out, right? So everybody's just saying, yeah, okay, we know we got to do this, but it's too much. It's just got unclear acceptance. We don't know who it's for. We don't know why behind the what. And we end up in this trap. Or stakeholders become attached to the idea. Well, this is my bread and butter. This is my pride and joy. Or a lot of times people take technical debt, instead of saving it for a reserved technical debt sprint, they'll try to sneak it in using this old story won't die mentality. So with that being said, we need to put together a 5-step plan for our exorcism. So the first step is to triage. We need to ask enough questions to figure out why this thing's still around, what are we trying to do, what part of the goal did we miss? And we need to take the second step to reframe it. Reframe what we're actually trying to do and make it outcome oriented instead of output oriented. We don't want to sit here and just stare it down and try to figure out why. We want to make sure we understand what the outcome's supposed to be. That makes sense. Then, and only then, can we time box it and drop it inside of a sprint. And if it is something bigger than a sprint, we can space it out accordingly and do what we need to do. Then we can look at it and say, who wants to take ownership of this? Now, even though that person may not be the only individual who works on it, we want to make sure that there's someone from the team represented that has ownership of this. So if people have questions, they can go to this individual when the team swarms to tackle what's there. Then, and only then, do we retire these items and get them out of the way. So triage, reframe, time box, figure out who owns it, and then retire it when it's time. And I think that if you do this, this is going to help the backlog stay clean. It's going to get rid of a lot of the old stuff that we were looking at. So I think it's time for teams to follow a New Orleans tradition. If you've been in the city of New Orleans, they have all the cemetery tours. And I think you need to take a cemetery tour of your backlog, and you need to do what I call the cemetery sweep. You need to sweep out all the crap that doesn't need to be there. And you need to make sure it's clear that you're only focusing on the things that absolutely need to be done. It's not haunted mausoleum where old backlogs live forever. In fact, if you have things that are older than just a couple of sprints, you should probably be questioning, unless there's something that's forward facing, you should be questioning why those things are still there, and what do we need to do to get them out of the way. So I think to wrap up and make sure we have key takeaways: 1, don't let things hang around forever. 2, if something is hanging around forever, ask why, triage, figure it out, reframe it, set a clear time box for when you should expect it, and get it out of the way. And then finally, don't be afraid to have hard conversations. The only way you'll ever get the ghosts out of your backlog, the only way you'll ever get this haunted backlog taken care of, the only way you'll ever be able to perform this exorcism is if you know the steps, and if you are brave enough to take those steps and sit down with the team and not be scared by the skeletons in the closet. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay spooky, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.